Coming up on The Weekend View.
Why Love is Blind fans are in a blind rage over how the men are treating their fiancés this season.
Yes, and Hilary Duff breaks her silence on getting dragged into Ashley Tisdale's toxic celebrity mom group drama.
How Lily Collins says she manifested her dream role to play pop culture icon Audrey Hepburn.
And the parenting fail on the Valley Persian style that has mom Mercedes seriously PO'd, and I would be too.
Me as well. It all starts now on The Weekend View!
We don't pay them to do that.
I might pay them. Yeah, thank
Delightful.
you.
So joining us today is our special guest co-host, the fabulous Amanda Carpenter. Thank you. And here are our subjects. Contestants on the reality series Love is Blind are supposed to form an emotional bond before they ever see each other, right? You've seen this? Yeah. But this season, male contestants like Chris have fans outraged. Why? Because of things he said to his partner, Jessica, after they started dating face-to-face. Oh, yeah. Watch the clip.
Like, in the normal world, like, I date people who, like, do, like, CrossFit. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm trying to, like, I don't know. Somebody who, like, works out all the time and, like, has, like, a different type of, I don't know.
A different type of, like, body?
It's just, like, somebody who does like Pilates every day, or like someone who's like working out every day. I just don't know if it's like there for me.
She should have said to him, and I like to date people who iron their clothes.
Well, she told him she wants nothing to do with him. She's a gorgeous girl, by the way.
And by the way, I also think she's a doctor.
And she's a doctor,
She's a physician, so she's got brains, and I think she's beautiful.
She is beautiful.
And I think it's his loss. Goodbye. I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with her body, but like maybe do
How do
we
you
want to
know?
consider the possibility the guy is a vet, he likes to run marathons, he does Ironmans, he wants somebody to work out with, although I really want to give him that
So then you
credit.
don't join a show called Love is Blind
Right,
and not
'cause it's
look at
not.
the person first. Like, you don't put yourself in that position if physical appearance is very important to you. See, I like to be physically attracted to somebody, so I would not go on a show like that, because if I'm mentally attracted to them and they turn around and they look like they have a strong face, I'm not gonna be interested in it.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it saves you time in life. You tell it to my face. Because, by the way, he became more unattractive as he broke that down. Yeah. And by the way, people are attracted to different types of people.
Yes.
But I happen to think there's something about her that was like, you're just getting to know each other. You're gonna write her off?
Yeah.
You're lost, you know?
So, I mean, I've struggled with my weight my entire life. And Al has always been a huge athlete. Like, he's worked out his entire life. It's been a really big part of his life. And he's always encouraged me in a way that I appreciate. Like, he always says to me, I love you. I love the way you look. I don't want you to change anything. But I think it's great when you exercise. Like, when he sees me playing pickleball or when he sees me going to Pilates, he encourages me, but he says it in a way that I
Brings
find
you
it
along.
positive.
Yeah.
Right.
Not like, not...
Like, these activities can be
not
fun.
destroys me.
Yeah.
Right.
To me, this guy did a preemptive strike because he realized that she's out of his league.
It could
So
be
he
that.
figured, let me do it first.
It could be that. I mean, I will tell you, to your point about Al, Manny works out, he cycles 100 miles per week and he runs and does triathlons. I don't really like to do that. I like to sit at the beach and have a cocktail and go to the spa.
Right.
So he'll tell me the medical benefits of working out. He's like, as you age, strength training is very important.
Well,
for
he's right about
longevity.
that. I'm a mess from the neck down.
But I don't really, I don't find that attractive.
How are you from the neck up?
I look
Great,
good.
look at her. Amazing.
I look great. From the
Exactly.
neck up, I look good, but you know,
Yeah.
the boobs are good hanging.
That's gravity. You
I
can't
know,
win.
but you do. I mean, you do things. Are you still working on? Are you still doing the YouTube thing with the German ladies?
I do on YouTube. I
jazzercise
dance
thing?
with them, but it's
You
too
do
late.
jazzercise?
The thing about exercise.
No. There's this.
sorry.
Does it
There's
Let's see it.
There's these German women who have like a
dance like
jazzercise
this.
class.
And she does it in her
that she
seat.
does it in YouTube.
But,
Yeah.
but the thing about exercise is you have to do it for the rest of your life. I don't want to do that. It's like a life sentence.
There are like medical benefits.
They're
to it,
also
apparently.
happy
You know,
hormones. A lot
years-
of people do it for mental health. I do it
Absolutely.
for mental
I'm
health.
a long
helps.
distance runner, and I do
Oh, wow.
it because it's cheaper than therapy.
Yeah.
What is
Like, and I don't have to tell
Okay.
anybody my
I'm
secrets.
so messed up. I do both.
All right, here's another story, Anna.
Go ahead.
Do you remember when Ashley Tisdale wrote that essay
Yeah.
about why she
Yeah.
left a toxic celebrity mom group?
yeah.
Okay, well, this week, Hilary Duff, who was on the Call Her Daddy podcast talking about rumors that she was one of those moms. Watch.
An article was written about a toxic mom group, and it literally took the internet by storm.
I honestly felt really sad. Motherhood has brought on, like, I have my like core group of friends who have been my ride or dies for 20 years. I think I just was like, whoa, it sucks to read something that's like not true.
Then the pot got stirred a little bit more. Our boy Matthew
Yes.
posted an Instagram story kind of then addressing back to it.
I don't tell him what he can and can't post. He is so like fierce for me. And like, I love him for that.
So Matthew is her husband, if you didn't know that. And would you want your husband getting involved in the middle of a friendship drama?
My husband does that.
He
Really?
does?
How?
Absolutely. He's all in it. He
Like in a group chat?
Yeah, we're all.
finds his
we,
way
we
in.
have a group of friends, but he also is the guy who is really friends with my girlfriends as well. And so when we actually just had a birthday party for our friend Jill, and it was a girls only. And my husband said, "Where is everybody? Can I crash?" Like he was like totally.
that's nice.
Yeah, he's
He
totally
likes the
into it.
company of
And
women.
Yeah, he does like the company
Yeah.
of women. He thinks women are smarter actually, and he also will stick. Yeah, he's a good man, but he will also he will stand 10 toes down for me if I was besmirched or not besmirched, but if somebody said something about me, he would go 10 toes
So
down.
I don't understand how these grown-ass women have time, you know, who have children, who have lives, who have work,
Yeah.
who have families, who have all these things, have time to be in toxic friendships and toxic chat groups and toxic mom groups. I'm just too old right now and too happy to be wasting time with any group that doesn't make me happy.
That's
But
right.
I'm with you.
right.
Like, I've been working so much. Like, my life is maybe if Donald Trump would stand down, I wouldn't have to work so much. But it's work, family, and then fitness on the side. So, like, I strive to be a part of a toxic friend group because it would mean that I would have friends.
I like to focus on the friend group part of
Yeah,
that.
like I need to work on that at some point in my life.
Yeah, Max
Well, it
wouldn't
sounds
do
like that group is missing a mom, so you can go join that.
Max would not do this for me. He would, and I actually think it might be what makes us work. We once, our big bonding thing when we got married was we both said we're works in progress and we want to challenge each other to be better. He's like the head and I'm the heart. So I come to him and I'm flying off the handle about everything, family, this. And he has this thing that's so enraging in that moment, but I think it actually makes me better, where he brings me back to, okay, so just let me know what happened. He doesn't believe I should get involved in things. He's like, this is a waste of your time.
Nice.
So he like almost dials me back in a way that in the moment, I would not tell you it's a good thing. Later, and when I look back, I'm like, in some ways, he really brings my feet back down to the ground.
I
in a
have
way.
that with my editors. They'll be like, this is really bad. And be like, I think this is perfect. And then I think about
Yeah,
it.
but you pay them for that. I just sleep with them.
Sounds like you have a better deal.
You pay and speech. There's no way Steve would get involved in any
No, he doesn't care.
toxic.
You know, Hillary
You don't
Duff,
think Steve would stick up for you?
he would stick up for me, but
Yeah, he
I
I
would.
wouldn't want to be involved.
I
Yeah,
can
I
fight
think
my
he
own
would stick
battles.
up.
I don't need a man to come to my rescue. So,
Yes, queen.
Do this?
Yes, queen.
I don't actually know what this means.
It means
Can you help me?
Like, yeah.
from my smoking days. So Hilary Duff also told the LA Times about the sexual awakening she experienced in her 30s.
Wow.
Took that long,
Yeah,
huh?
better late than never.
She said she didn't enjoy sex in her 20s, but she gained more confidence as she got older. And now she finally understands what great sex is all about. Yeah.
Wow.
Speak to this. Did you experience sex in your 20s that
You're
were...
gonna have to pay me more to talk about that here.
I know, right?
But I do feel for her. I do think it was probably a lot more conflicted for her because she was a child star, and like they always have to navigate like how I'm a girl and how to become a woman. You're under the microscope, so like I give her a lot of grace.
I think the 30s are the best for a woman, the best sex decade ever because you know what you like, you know your body and what you want touched or not touched. You know how to talk about it and how to ask for it. And you're not in menopause, so you actually still want to do it.
But better than the 40s? The 40s are so good.
The 30s and 40s are great.
The 40s.
Yeah, the 30s.
I'll tell you what
Nice.
I think the 40s are really good.
Come on, you told me the other day the 80s were wonderful.
The 80s are great, too. But the 40s are good because it gives men a chance to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, the 40s
So
are
it's good for
good.
men in their 40s.
I've always been with older men because they are figured out by the time I get smart.
You know what?
I don't want an instruction manual
Shout
for a
out
man.
to two female showrunners, Bridgerton and Tell Me Lies. Both storylines have addressed the female orgasm in a way that we have not seen in pop culture. And they followed the storyline, they leaned into it
What did
over
they
and
say
over
about
again.
the female orgasm?
There's all this whole thing about one of the couples in Bridgerton, like if they're married,
Episode
have you ever
5.
had an orgasm? And it became
No, but they
this-
have a word for it. Can you remember what it was?
Pinnacle.
Pinnacle.
Have you reached your pinnacle?
Have you reached your pinnacle?
like
Which just
Yeah.
sounds
That's
lovely.
season 2.
But yeah, but as no,
season 4. No,
Season- it's now. It's this season.
It's Nicola. What?
Yeah.
Nicola.
Nicola.
Yeah, but they go into it. and-
Nicola!
I'm glad you picked up on this because I really got into Tell Me Lies, even though I usually don't like those shows. But I didn't catch up on that because I think I was just watching how hot
It was all about Pippa, and they were asking
Yes.
her, and she'd fake orgasms.
Oh,
Later
I
on, they're
remember.
talking about
Yes.
real orgasms.
Yes.
And I thought,
Now I
when
remember.
have I ever, as a woman, watched storylines revolving around sexual pleasure that's not us being banged up against a wall like we like that, and the men holding us like we like that? Like, I mean, it just, all of it is very male.
so fast
Yeah.
at the same time.
Personally, I don't know what's wrong with being banged up against the wall.
Say it.
Say it. We'll be right
What
back.
kind of sex is she having?
The Weekend View is sponsored by Rock Skincare, clinically proven and dermatologist recommended.
So, for years, actress Lily Collins has been open about how much she loves big screen icon Audrey Hepburn. Who doesn't? She was the best. And now, look at her. They very good. And now she's playing her in a new biopic about the making of the classic movie Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Wow.
She says it's her dream role. So do you believe she manifested it into happening? Like they say, creative visualization, and think of what you want and it'll come true.
I think so. I mean, obviously, I think you can put things out into the universe, and the universe will bring it back to you. I actually believe in that very,
Really?
very much, manifesting.
Yeah, but if I manifested Audrey Hepburn, no one's giving me that part.
You don't know that.
So, I mean, it'll work.
You don't know that.
Yeah, well, it
But that
helps
may not
that
be your
she
dream
looks.
either. That may
It
not-
helps that she looks like a.
She looked
Audrey
like her,
Hepburn.
yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
I'm gonna say I haven't watched too many of those movies, but I really like it when you have a remake when the casting is so good. I mean, that is incredible. And I've been watching the love story.
JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette Kennedy.
Yes, and I didn't, I
It's
I was
great.
born in 1982, so I didn't really experience this. The only thing I noticed, like I can remember, was like seeing about the plane crash in People magazine.
Yeah.
But now I get to relive this.
I remember
90s
the
New
You know
York,
what, though?
which is
Don't you
so
miss
New York?
So
sexy.
I'm obsessed with this show too, which is on Hulu. But don't you think they did a really good job with John and Carolyn? But I'm not sure they got Jackie or Caroline Schlossberg. What's her name? Schlossberg?
Yeah,
¿Cómo se llama?
Or Daryl
Caroline.
Hannah. They've done her dirty.
They did.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
She's like this whiny, like,
They did a few of them
And you're
dirty,
like, that
but,
is not-
but no one's ever going to be exactly like that iconic couple, especially JFK Jr., who was the sexiest man alive. But I think they came pretty close.
the
When
chemistry is so good.
Is it biopic or biopic? I never get this
it's
right.
biopic.
Okay, so when in one of those things they get the casting right, it makes all the difference. Like J-Lo as Selena. I mean, first of all, I think they're the only
That
two.
was good.
That one was good. Yeah.
I mean, where else could you find asses like that? But that was the role that made J-Lo, you know, career.
Also,
I think,
Walk the
broke.
Line. Joaquin Phoenix
Yeah,
and
he
Reese
was
Witherspoon.
great.
And that
God,
one
I
was,
love that.
yeah, that one was so good. And they did all their own
I love
singing.
her. She's
and-
great,
yeah.
that girl. What a talented comedian
talented.
she
Got a little
is.
hitch in her
Wonderful.
idiot.
Yeah, but can you imagine not only doing the mannerisms with the voice, but the singing? I
Yeah.
mean, these actors just have incredible
That makes
talent.
it so much more, you can almost feel it when you watch that movie.
I think Love Story, I think a lot of people are rediscovering not only that love, that relationship, but also Carolyn Bessette Kennedy's style.
Yes.
She's,
I didn't
she's
know
a
as much
style
about her.
icon again.
Yeah.
All right. On the reality series The Valley, I never heard of it, but it's out there somewhere.
I love it.
You like?
Details
Okay,
you don't
good.
have to add.
Valley
just read
Persian
I know
it.
it's
stuff?
true. Tommy is in the doghouse with Mercedes because he missed a pretty important item on his honeydew list. Watch.
Hello?
Hi, I'm calling from Shams' school. We've got Shams here in the office waiting to be picked up.
So my husband forgot? We live like 10 minutes away from school. There's no excuse. The lack of consistency is a real problem for me because 5 minutes ago, you wanted to be there for me and support us. And then the first thing that I asked for, you drop the ball and you're not there for our son.
Oh.
So did you ever struggle with leaving something important like that up to your husband?
Well, first of all, my mother forgot to pick me up once, and let me tell you, when I was like in 4th grade, it is the saddest thing in the world for that to happen. But
At
so
school?
At school,
But there are teachers around.
I watch this show, and this is the offshoot or the remake, a reboot of a show. It's a reality show on Bravo. It used to be called The Shahs of Sunset.
Oh, I remember that.
And they are this very tight-knit group of Persians. They work together, they socialize together, they've been lifelong friends. And Tommy does not like the friends. So like he's not been showing up to any of the events. And you can see that the marriage is struggling. In fact, I think since the show aired, they've filed for divorce or they've separated. So I think this is one symptom of a relationship that was just fraying at every which way.
But leaving your kid, when you say you're going to do something in a marriage, I think you have to do it. You have the consistency is such a huge part of a marriage.
I would divorce the guy for that.
Partnership.
That would
Well,
be
she
divorce.
is. That would be.
He forgets because he's so self-involved.
Yeah, I
No.
can't.
Yeah, but there's
I
a
can't
difference
imagine
between
that.
like leaving a kid and like changing the light bulbs I asked you about 20
That is
times.
different.
Like, so
That
if
is
it's all the
different.
same standard, then Max and I have plans. Like,
Why can't you just hire a handyman? You
No,
can
I
afford
do,
it.
and then he gets mad.
then you
and
have to hire the handyman
But I
and have
also
him come
do
at a certain time
I
and
do the
schedule
light
it. Yeah.
bulbs. Then he's like, "Why are you always up on the ladder?" I'm like, "Cause you're not." Like,
Yeah.
so like it.
But this one is.
That's different. He would never forget the kids.
This
Like,
is a
it's-
big deal.
Okay, I think I'm going to give you some marriage advice now. Get a handyman that you schedule to come to your house
When Max
every
isn't
week,
there.
every 2 weeks, and takes care of all the stuff.
His name's Rob, and I always have a little punch list for him.
And you do it when Max isn't.
No, I like him to see Rob's ass march in my door to like fix everything.
Yeah. That does get to men when they see other men.
I plan
come in
it
the house
around
and do
Max's
something.
schedule.
Does it?
Max, will you be here between 3 to 5 when Rob gets here?
It does not get to Al at all. I mean, I married a man, and I know that when I knew I married him, I knew that I had married a man who thinks filing his own nails is manual labor. So,
You know
Danny
my
fixes
show? You know
everything,
my
as you
show,
know.
My First Ex-Husband?
no, we don't. Tell us about it.
It's going to be in Boston at the end of March, so you can go to myfirstexhusband.com. Come and see it. But in one of the monologues, talking about divorce, she says, everybody knows that at the end of the day, marriage is really about the division of labor.
Absolutely.
It is.
And that's what we're talking about.
It is.
It is really people dividing the chores.
Partnership.
And if you don't want to do that, don't get married.
You know, me and my husband have a very clear division of labor. It's kind of funny. Like, I probably have not done dishes like in the last 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
I don't do dishes because I do so
'Cause
many
you cook,
other things.
probably.
Yes, I cook, I grocery
Persian-
shop.
yes.
And when we have people over,
Yeah.
it's always the women say, okay, do you want me to help you clean up? And I'm like, talk to him.
Yeah.
And they're like, even the women are confused by it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't do dishes.
To be fair to them, they're raised to change a
Yes.
tire, not to change the dishwasher.
Yeah, but I'm raising my boys differently because I'm raising all my girls and my boys the exact same. There's a problem, we all fix
That's
it.
good.
That is the way we do it.
Okay, we'll be right back with a little more of this.
The Weekend View is sponsored by Rock Skincare, clinically proven and dermatologist recommended.
So, Sonny was on the Behind the Table podcast with Brian and talked about how people are putting their money where their mouth is on dating websites. Take a look.
There was a story on our Hot Topics list today about whether a better credit score is the key to a better relationship. Apparently, people are putting their credit scores on their dating app profiles now. What do you think of this? I feel like this would come in, you do the math on this, I think.
You know, I think it's smart. I think that if you look at the reasons for divorce in this country, you know, I'm going to try to think about it methodically. They are sex, children, and finances. Those are the three top reasons. And I think the top one is finances. So if you are starting out with someone who is bad at money, who has a low FICO score, you're not going to be able to build a solid financial future, or to be harder, you can't buy a home, which is really the generator of most American wealth. I think someone with a high FICO score would probably make, in the long term, a better partner.
Yeah, but that's if you're a certain age. What if you're very young and you have nothing yet?
Well, if you don't have a FICO score and you're younger, that's one thing. But
Yeah.
if you're a little older and you have a bad FICO score, that's even a bigger.
Now
red
you're-
flag.
but
I mean,
you're
I just look at it analytically.
So if you were on a date with a guy on one of these things, you would say, what's your FICO score?
Well, if it's on a dating website and I look at the FICO score and it's in the toilet, I'm not going to swipe right or left.
Okay, but wait, though,
Wow.
because
I'm not going to.
people on these dating sites, you met Max on one, but people, my best friend's calling.
Chubby, she'll have to call you back. Love you, Lee. It's Sarah. Bye.
People on these dating sites, they lie, right?
Yeah,
Like they put these pictures from when they were 20 and hot, and then you go over there and they look like Quasimodo from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
That's true.
What makes you think that the score they put on the dating site is going to be true?
I would think that the dating site would do its due diligence and
not.
pull the FICO score.
No, because I've
not.
met a lot of those guys,
would
and they're
think-
all 6'2", and that was back in the day before they turned 5'10". So, like, they are able to do things without it being
I mean,
vetted.
a liar is also a disqualifier for a partner.
Yeah, but it does kind of show up on the first date.
That's also a disqualifier.
But FICO score, not like financial security is pretty hot. I mean,
It's
my
important.
husband is good with money, and I remember we were dating. You remember they had that Post a Secret like exhibition that would go around where people would like put on a postcard note their secret, and then you could go read it in a museum. Oh, it was an amazing exhibit.
fun.
Oh, wow.
Really cool. And we walked by one. He's like, "What's your secret?" I was like, "I have student loan debt," because I knew he was so good with money, but it was like the scariest thing to admit. And he's like, "We'll get you through it." And it was, I went to public school. It wasn't anything too crazy.
Yeah.
But him saying like, "This is manageable. We can get through this." Like, it was such a relief to know that someone wasn't scared of that.
And is not being good with your credit, because like
Yes.
to me that was almost assumed.
Do you guys care if you make more money than your man?
No.
I don't.
As long as someone makes
A
it.
lot of men
Yeah.
like that, I think.
Yeah, I don't mind.
How about you?
As long as his money is my money and my money is my money, I don't care.
The Anna Navarro philosophy.
Yeah.
So Behind the Table is available wherever you get your podcasts, or watch us on YouTube. Have a great day, everyone. Take a little time to enjoy the Weekend View.